Welcome to Dr. Katina Talks, the podcast where we explore the journey to a more fulfilling, balanced, and meaningful life. I'm your host, Dr. Katina, and in each episode, I'll be sharing stories, insights, and strategies from my own life's journey, exploring how I've learned to live authentically, unapologetically, and uncompromisingly, even through challenges and self-doubt. Today, we're diving into a topic that touches us all: our aspirations, the fears that often hold us back, and the courage it takes to keep moving forward. Whether you're starting a new chapter in your life or revisiting old dreams, this episode is here to inspire and remind you it's never too late to dream big, set goals, and achieve them, even if fear tags along for the ride. Let's dive in. Let me tell you a story about dreams, goals, and fears, and how I learned to face mine. For over 20 years, I've been teaching at colleges and universities, and every semester I give my students the floor to ask me anything. I've been asked all kinds of questions, from the profound to the lighthearted, but one question stood out this year. Here it is. Have you always dreamed of being a psychologist? Now, I'm a doctor of psychology. I have a PhD in psychology, and I'm also a licensed mental health therapist and life coach. Nevertheless, this student's question stopped me in my tracks. Not because I didn't know the answer, but because the truth of it felt so personal and profound, causing me to reflect on my childhood. The answer to this question is no. I didn't grow up dreaming about anything. I wasn't taught to dream. I wasn't given the space to dream. Maybe some of my listeners can relate to this, growing up in an environment where survival took precedence over dreaming, where setting goals felt like a luxury, not a necessity. So, my answer to this student was no. I didn't start dreaming until adulthood. And from this conversation with my college students, I realized that this important topic and my message on the topic needed to be shared with my listeners. So here's the good news. It's never too late to dream. In adulthood, through God's guidance and the support of my husband, I learned how to dream. And not just dream, but how to turn those dreams into goals and then work to make those goals my reality. And I want to emphasize something here. I didn't have it all figured out. I didn't wake up one day fearless, confident, and ready to take on the world. In fact, every single dream I've had has come with fear attached. And I know some of you are listening right now thinking, I want to dream, but I'm too old. Or maybe you're thinking, I've tried and failed before. Why should I bother? Or what if my dream is just too big, too scary, too impossible? I want to share a secret with you about fear, especially for those of you who are waiting for fear to go away before you take the next steps to achieve your goals. Are you ready for the secret about fear? Here it is. It never truly goes away. Fear is part of the process. Every time I set a new goal, fear shows up. It whispers things like, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if you're too old for this? But here's what I've learned. Fear doesn't have to be the end of the story. You can feel afraid and still move forward. Now, I'm going to be a bit vulnerable here and tell you about some of my fears. I am terrified of flying, yet I've traveled to about 55 countries to date. I'm afraid of bridges, but I still drive over them silently singing hymns and praying to keep calm. Public speaking? It's one of my greatest fears. Yet, my job requires me to do it almost every day, and somehow I make it through. What's funny is that most people wouldn't even know how much fear I carry because I don't let fear stop me. Fear doesn't have to be your roadblock. It can be a part of your journey without taking over your life. Now let's talk about being too old. That's a narrative we tell ourselves, but let me ask you, when did we decide there's an expiration date on dreams? Who says you can't start something new at 40, 50, or even 70? Some of the most inspiring people started later in life. Vera Wang didn't design her first dress until her 40s. Colonel Sanders started KFC in his 60s. And age is not the obstacle. It's your mindset about age that holds you back. So, if you're sitting there thinking it's too late for you, I want you to know it's not. It's never too late to dream. It's never too late to set goals. And it's never too late to take that first step, no matter how small it seems. Now, here's what I've learned in my experience. And here are 4 points I want to leave you with. 1, dreams don't come with a deadline. Whether you're 20 or 80, you can start now. 2, fear is normal, but it doesn't have to define your actions. Feel it, acknowledge it, and keep going anyway. 3, big dreams are supposed to scare you. If they don't, you're not dreaming big enough. 4, you can live with fear and still achieve your goals. It's not an either or. So, dream big, set your goals, take that first step, no matter how small. And if fear is whispering in your ear, that's okay. You can carry it with you, but don't let it steer the wheel. It's possible to live a full, meaningful, and courageous life at any age and with any amount of fear. Trust me, I'm living proof. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this. Your dreams are valid, your fears are normal, and it's never too late to begin. Whatever you've been holding back, take that first step today. Fear is part of the process, but it doesn't have to stop you. If today's episode resonated with you, I encourage you to take a moment and reflect on your own dreams. What's one small step you can take to move forward, even with fear? And don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's spread the encouragement to keep dreaming, keep going, and keep growing. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And remember, you can always reach out to me on socials at Dr. Katina Talks. I'd love to hear how you're taking the first steps towards your dreams. Also, if there's a topic or a specific challenge you'd like me to explore in future podcasts, I'd love to hear your suggestions. Feel free to drop me a message with what you'd like to hear more about. This podcast is for you, and I want to make sure we're talking about what matters most to you. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep moving forward. Bye for now.